Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection and bringing you three unique perspectives and varying skill range. I am the Portal Master of this episode, Andrew. With me, the one coming straight from the Portal Potty, Keith.
Hello. Okay.
And with us,
What?
our Portal Combat, Aaron.
Hey, did I do something wrong?
No, you just
You were just really delayed.
Yeah. I don't know what's not intentional. Or
I was
maybe
trying to
it's
think
just-
of like a poop joke or something, and so
nice.
then I just went with hello.
Really classy all around. Good job, guys.
All right, and this week we played Splitgate 2 by 1047 Games. But before we get into it, I just want to quickly remind everyone, please make sure you go to GamePassGrabBag.com. Check out our new website. You'll also find the link to our link tree. Come join our Discord and our Reddit and all of our things. We always love having people join us. But anyway, Splitgate 2, brought to you by 1047 Games. I know what some of you are probably saying, and yes, technically, it's not quite a Game Pass game because it is a free-to-play game, but it was on the Game Pass list, and usually our rule of thumb is if it's on the Game Pass list, it's free game. Well, I guess it is a free-to-play game.
Do we know why that happens? Because this
No,
isn't the first time.
That is going to be one of my gripes in just a little bit as we get into Gamer Pass.
The only thing that I can think, and this is just kind of a guess, and this is kind of judging off of what they've done in the past as well. I think it ends up on Game Pass if they offer a perk.
And
So
they
if you
don't.
go in, yes, they do. They offer a skin. There's a skin in there right now.
Is there?
So if you, so if you go into Game Pass right now and you look at the perk, you get a specific Game Pass green skin. I think it's for arrows.
Urban Ronin
don't think it
set. You're right.
I don't think it was there originally. I think it took a few days for it to show up, but I think that's how these free-to-play games end up in Game Pass is if
Yes.
something is offered.
Yes.
So that's my guess. But all right.
No,
so
no,
hopefully
that
answers
is
Yeah, I
actually
mean-
right.
I mean, I figured there was some correlation there. I figured it was either that it was on Game Pass because they were offering it something, or they were offering something because it was on the Game Pass list.
Yeah.
But either way, it's
I'm-
probably because of it's a free to play, and Xbox has made some deal to promote it basically. So they said, yeah, we'll just throw it in the Game Pass list.
So the question is, who paid who for this? Do you think 1047 paid to have it in Game Pass, or do you think Game Pass paid to have it there?
I think 1047 paid.
That would be my guess because it's free to play. I would guess they put a promo in there hoping to just get more eyes on it, especially on the Xbox platform. Most people are seeing their games by loading up Game Pass. So I would
Maybe.
guess that
I
was
almost
1047
wonder-
as well.
I almost wonder that, or if it's a handshake deal a little bit, like a hey, we'll do this, but you have to make a special Xbox only skin. So you can.
But what's
can't
the
get that
benefit to
anywhere.
Game Pass? That's my
Because
question.
then it bloats the list. It's just more games that they can put on the list.
I mean, I guess.
And I mean, I
feels-
don't say that with like there's not enough to play on Game Pass. There is, obviously. 6 years in on this, there's always something new. This year has been fantastic. Like, it's not that there's a shortage of games, but why not add more games to the list if you can, and put good names on there? Absolutely.
I guess. Just seems odd. But go ahead, Andrew. Continue.
I mean, I guess the complete list of perks is the Urban Ronin set, which includes a weapon skin, an emote, a gun charm, and bonus XP. But yeah, Splitgate 2 by 1047 Games is a first-person shooter, arena shooter, and also a battle royale. We are playing one of three currently. I got to say, this is season 1. Currently one of 3 classes with their own different equipment and guns that they can have. But you are essentially, it's a first-person shooter with different, obviously, map objectives. But the big difference with this one is that you have portals, very much like the game Portal. You have one entry way and one exit way. You can kind of shoot through the portal, teleport through it, do a bunch of different things with it. But going around of whether or not this is a gamer pass, I will start with this. For me, so good thing we were actually going to record this last week, and I was going to give this a pass because this was season 1, and I was like, there is not a lot here. At the moment, there wasn't a battle royale. The shop was very limited, but give it another week. There's now currently a ranked mode, and the shop has a little more things in it, but I still have a good amount of issues with this game. I'm giving it a game, but honestly, just barely. I was honestly huge fan of Splitgate 1. All 3 of us, we played a lot of the first Splitgate. This one really did not hook me as much. But yeah, so I'll give it a game, but it's barely one.
I actually didn't play a ton of the first Splitgate. I did play it, and I played it, I mean, at least a fair amount, I will say, but I wasn't huge on it. If I remember, I thought it was fun, but I, like many competitive first person shooters, I'm just bad at them, and adding portals into the mix of kind of wonky movement, just I get cleaned up on. Now, that's not to say that I don't like Splitgate 2, even though it is much of the same in that regards, because I do like it, and I will, and I think I'm kind of with Andrew where I'm not like excited about it, but it is a game, and it's definitely more so, I think, a game I would pick up and play with friends. I don't know how much time I would go back and spend jumping in solo. There's probably other online competitive experiences or multiplayer experiences I'd rather play if I'm going on solo.
This is a game, and it's kind of a bummer that I'm saying that, because this probably had the makings of being a definite game for me. Andrew's not wrong. It kind of misses the mark of where it probably should have hit. And when you say, what do you mean by probably should have hit? Well, I have to give you a little bit of historical context. The guys that created this game, it was two roommates. They created this game in college, which the basic idea was a Halo-style game with portals was the idea. And it ends up taking off. So they kind of, on a shoestring budget, put together Splitgate 1. Splitgate 1 becomes a massive hit, but for like a year. They then turn around and shut down the game. They basically tell everybody, hey guys, thank you so much for everything you do. We're working on the next game. They secure $100 million to create Splitgate 2. Now, does Splitgate 2 feel like $100 million game to you?
No.
No, it doesn't. So the problem is when you hear that, and now they have a full studio, they've got a ton of people behind it now. Your thought process is this game is going to take everything from the first one and just enhance it. I don't think this game plays worse than the first one, but I don't see the improvements to where I say that's where they put their money. Because they've been gone for a few years now. They've been gone, I think, for 3 years before this one launched. So this is kind of a bummer. I like this game. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. This is kind of right up my alley. But man, what a missed opportunity to come out and really knock this out of the park. So kind of a crazy setup for it. But yes, this is a good game. It just missed being a definite game, at least for now. Of course, it's live service. So who knows what this looks like 6 months from now.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of wanted to add the quick caveat as to why also this really disappointed me. So this is a free-to-play game, but boy, howdy, does this game hate to give away things for free. Man, when we get to the transaction portion of the, since this is a free-to-play game, it's kind of very stingy. But the story of Splitgate 2, obviously it's a free-to-play game, first-person shooter. There isn't really one, but it looks like they were trying to create lore. When you actually go to each class, you kind of learn some things about them. You find out that I forget the names of them, but one of them are from Mars, so they kind of fight for the honor of Mars. There was another one that's like they're kind of spiritual. The Viridians, that's who it was. They're kind of spiritual. They can heal people, but they're in some of these arenas you're doing are kind of like, oh, this is a sporting event kind of thing. So it looks like they were trying to build up some lore, but even I tried Googling it and there's really nothing here. So you're obviously not playing this game for the story. So do you guys have anything to add with the story, or should I just get right into the gameplay?
Well, I do. Again, I'm a little bit more invested in this game, so I might have a little bit more information that probably you guys do, at least generally speaking. When the game did launch, they put out a launch trailer for it, which really leaned into, oh, this looks like there's like a story. Like it was like everyone assumed a story mode was maybe coming because of that launch trailer. Turns out, no, it was just a battle royale was coming instead. There are some interesting tie-ins. So chapter 1 of the first season gave us another map from Eros. And then we're now currently in chapter 2 of season 1, and that is Sabrask related. So we will get another Sabrask map. You will notice the maps you are on. There are some that are directly tied to the group. So you do, I'm assuming, play on some of those planets. So there are light tie-ins to some type of bigger story, because it kind of looks like a competitive arena. If you look at the launch trailer, it looks like a competitive arena. But then, there, like you said, there's different classes from different planets and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's it. That's the story. The end.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer of this way when they first announced this, and it was like it looked like a straight up hero shooter, and it's like, oh, this is kind of different. And so it's like, all right, this could be interesting. But yeah, like you said, then it's just kind of all like, no, there's nothing here.
So the hero shooter element of it is this is the first area where most of the fans of Splitgate 1 have now differed on this game. The original Splitgate, it played much more like an arena shooter.
Yeah.
There weren't classes, there weren't perks, there weren't attachments to guns. So them doing that in this game, I don't hate it. It doesn't bother me. It's not overly intrusive. There aren't that many perks. There aren't that many attachments. It's all pretty simple. There's like
no, but the class builds are kind of annoying.
They can be. They're not balanced.
Yeah.
They're definitely not balanced right now. And they're especially not balanced now that they just launched ranked, which is a problem. But outside of that, again, I don't think I have major issues with them. I think with some tweaking, it would be completely forgettable for me. I wouldn't think much about it.
So when you're telling me that they're not balanced, like there's like a meta of like what I'm supposed to be picking.
Yeah. So if you're playing ranked and you're playing hot zone, which is jump on the zone, longer you want it, you get it.
Domination.
Everyone just goes Sabrask, and you do 4 walls, and you sit in the middle. So you can kind of just lock it down just to Sabrask. And the cooldown, I think that's probably what needs to change. And they probably just need to upgrade the cooldown on that wall. It's just a lot easier to go and just toss that down there. So, there is a meta going on right now.
No, that about makes sense.
And there's certain guns that everybody's leaning towards as well. But again, that happens in all of these games. That's not new.
Yeah. Because so we might as well talk about it, getting into the gameplay. So as Aaron's kind of saying, there's these 3 classes, which are kind of, I'm assuming they're like corporations, but you have one that's kind of more specialized in ballistic and explosives, one that specializes in energy guns, and one that kind of specializes in kind of speed. So each one of these classes have their own set of unique items. So they all very much have like a machine gun, but it obviously varies a little bit. Obviously the faster people are slower, like less damage, but higher rate of fire. The energy people maybe have like a little bit of a buildup before it can actually hit full speed. So you can kind of understand a little bit of what these classes are kind of representing and kind of what playstyle you want to do. But essentially, you are just doing the map objective, whether it be, just deathmatch, or it might be, as Aaron was saying, a domination game mode, a capture the flag game mode, split ball, which is essentially a 1 flag capture the flag, but you're trying to bring 3 of them to your base and then you win the round. So there's these very different game mode. And then of course there's a battle royale, which was kind of funny. This game got roasted because of the battle royale. I don't know if we want to talk about that story. To me, it actually made me laugh, but
what's the story of it? I actually don't know it.
Oh,
I'm not trying to be like smart.
So this game kind of, as Aaron was saying, there was this whole secret revealed to this game that people were thinking it was a story or a campaign or something like that. They kept talking about how big and bad, this thing is going to be awesome. One of the creators came out during the Summer Game Fest.
That's where the game launched.
When the game launched, yes, he came out and all excited. He wore a hat saying make first-person shooters great again. Of course, went out there and we're sick of Call of Duty and naming a bunch of other first-person shooters and how terrible they've gotten. But we're here to change things up. We have a battle royale. And everyone was just like, oh, cool. The thing everyone else is doing. So they got roasted pretty hard for that.
But they added a battle royale into a game that didn't have it. So they did change things.
So this is all a mixed bag. All right. So one, people flipped out over the hat because it was make FPS great again. So people flipped out over that. Then people flipped out because the 2 lines he says are actually genuinely true. He says, I'm sick of playing the same Call of Duty every year, and they should have made a Titanfall 3. Both of those are factually. They should have done. That part wasn't wrong. The actual big mistake they made, which is super stupid, it wasn't just the Battle Royale. I think the Battle Royale was fine. I think people that like Splitgate are upset about that. People that didn't care about Splitgate came, and then they looked at the shop. Now,
Ooh, yeah.
did you see what was in the shop when it first launched?
Yeah.
An $80 bundle. Now, I will say this, because they're like, you can't take shots at Call of Duty and then put an $80 bundle in your store. Like, you can't do that. And fine, I'll say fair is fair. I still will argue it's a free-to-play game. I don't really care. And if you put an $80 bundle in your shop, that's your own funeral. You need to sell that to stay alive. Call of Duty doesn't, but Splitgate does. They need to sell things to keep themselves alive. If you want to price it that way, knock yourself out. See how many people are going to buy it, and you'll sink yourself. It was a bad move. And they kind of like, they didn't double down on it, but they were just kind of like, hey, it's just a cosmetic. It's really up to you. And then 2 days later, they had to come back.
Oopsie, we didn't realize how expensive it was.
Yeah, then they kind of came back and said, whoops-a-daisy, it's now $40.
Which still
did they refund everyone who paid $80?
Yes.
At least?
Yeah. They took everybody that did pay for it, all 4 people that bought it.
Yeah. I saw one person actually had it. I was like, I can't believe this person's bought that.
Well, I'll give them this. Like, there's a $40 bundle right now, and it actually looks cool. It's the Spaceman one.
Yes.
It's actually kind of a cool bundle.
Is that the one?
That's at least.
Is that the one for the fast guy?
It's no, for Sabrask.
Okay.
The shield wall guy.
Yep.
And so it's cool. And his name's Yuri, which is like the first man in space. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like that one. It actually looks good. And I'm like, all right. But am I going to pay $40 for it? Of course not. But somebody will. But yeah, that was really the initial controversy, is that what you did is you alienated the audience that already loves your game, because now they're like, I didn't want a battle royale. And now you're going to split your resources between the game mode I love and a battle royale. And then everybody on the outside looked at it and said, who are these clowns saying Call of Duty sucks? And then they're putting out $80 bundles in their store. So they immediately made everyone hate them as an introduction. So yeah, not a good look. Was it overblown? 100%. It was 100% overblown, I think, on both sides. But that's how gaming works today. Like, you have to get it right. You get one chance to nail it, and that's it.
Like, is there, like, I'm going to take Claire Obscure out of the conversation for this one.
Thank you.
I think it's been almost 2 weeks since we mentioned it, but it's like, is there truly a game now anymore that just gets it right? Like eventually they do, for the most part, but it feels like there's always something that they come out when a game drops. It's almost like the internet just has to get mad about something, at least initially.
I think it is possible. I think there's one a year. I think one a year gets it.
Yeah.
Lately, I feel like those have been RPGs, like Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. When Baldur's Gate 3 came out, universally everyone loved it. Claire Obscure came out, universally everybody loves it. I think, especially when it comes to the free-to-play realm, I think it is impossible, because especially in free-to-play, they have to make money somewhere. So usually everyone's going to go and argue over those details. But yeah, I feel like there's one a year, and it's a single-player game.
Yeah, because that's you have the lowest chance of screwing that up with a single player game.
No, I don't know, because again, you can still hate on single player games. There's plenty of that going on. I don't want to sit there and say that there's a way of getting.
People don't hate things. Are you kidding me? Everyone's loving.
Truthfully, this is part of what I think sucks about gaming, modern gaming. Part of it is on the developers. I don't want to sit there and say the developers are all off the hook on this stuff. Developers they kind of suck a lot right now too. But I think what's now happened is gamers are now so hypersensitive to a game not being 100% perfect all of the time, that they turn these small elements into massive elements. And then they turn them into campaigns about downvoting them everywhere to just
Review
destroy
bombing.
them. Yeah. Review bombing is like now this like epidemic on Steam.
Oh, on Steam. Yeah.
People have never touched these games and they'll find ways to review bomb these things. So it's becoming a massive issue, I think, just in the culture as a whole. So good question, Keith. Yeah, this game was never supposed to be perfect, but it's now got itself into a bit of a hole right now.
Yeah, but I mean that's what stinks too. Of like, because a lot of these games have such massive budgets, they gotta recoup, like start making that money right away. Because from this studio, I think I've already had a significant amount of job layoffs. They
laid off on the second week. They were laying off employees. And they announced that the two CEOs, so the two college roommates, would not be taking a salary until they could get everything kind of in line. And their big issue right now is they're trying to fix the problems before they're pushing out new content. So they're really in a struggle situation. And it's hard to ignore this just because, again, this is modern gaming. How long is this going to be around for?
Yeah.
I don't, you know me in Steam charts. But Steam charts did fall below 1,000 for the first time. So
I think on a full free-to-play game, Steam charts are fairly, I mean, and obviously in any context, everything can have some value to it. But I think in particular, I would say with a free-to-play game that across all platforms, it's a pretty telling number.
Yeah. It's doing pretty good on console. If you go into the top played on Xbox and on PlayStation, at least for a while, it was sitting in like the top 25 on both of those, which isn't great. It's not bad. If you go to your top free to play games, I think it was number 6 on Xbox for downloads. So I think it's done okay on console, and you don't have a hard time finding a match. I don't want to sit there and make it sound like it's really struggling to find people. No, I can get in any match.
Time. It's not instant.
There is a bug in the search. So sometimes you do get locked. You have to X out and then go back in. But I do want to talk a little bit, Andrew, though, about the game modes, because I know that you kind of made it sound like it's pretty bare bones. I actually think what's offered here isn't all that bad.
No, I don't, but I have some issues with it. One of the main ones I've most issue with is Splitball. At first when I was playing, I'm like, this is cool. I like this. The reason I don't like it, it's every game mode is round based. So except for I think Team Deathmatch, like
Deathmatch isn't. It was in the beta. It's not anymore.
Okay, because Splitball just took too long. It's the first person to have 3 balls in their goal, but 1 ball spawns about like every 40 seconds or so, and it just took too long. And then it's first to 3 rounds. First person to win 3 rounds, then the game's over. So it just took too long.
No, it's best of 3. So you only have to win 2.
Okay, so then they changed it, because I remember before it was I'm 90% sure it was like first to 3 rounds.
But
this is taking too long.
Like I definitely have had rounds. I think the longest one I had was like 5.5 minutes or so. But it gets to a point where there's like, so each team needs 3, and there'll be like 4 or 5 active balls.
It just keeps spawning them.
Yeah, so like there gets to a point where you kind of have to, and unless everyone's just really, almost Call of Dutying it and just saying, I'm not going to pick up the tags and kill confirmed or whatever and just go for the kills, you're bound to end a round eventually.
Yeah. I didn't think it went too long. I think the fact that I think a smart idea was, instead of it just being one single capture, like a capture the flag, it keeps spawning new ones.
Yeah.
So you can score pretty quick and win it pretty quick, because it's also easy to steal from the other team. But I like that mode a lot. There's a search and destroy mode, which I know that's like a Call of Duty staple.
Yeah, it's fireworks this though. It's fireworks instead of a bomb.
There's capture the flag, there's domination. All those are good. Team deathmatch, all that stuff is good. I think if I have an issue, it's the fact that you can't single load into some of those objective game modes. You have to go into like a random arena playlist.
A grab bag.
You can go into just team deathmatch, but the secret really fun mode is the 8v8v8 game mode.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
That was pretty good.
I have a lot of fun with that one. So that one is, I think it's always just domination. Oh, it's domination or it's King of the Hill. I think those are the only two modes that play on there. There isn't like a large, big team. What portal ball? What is it called?
Split
ball.
ball.
Split ball.
That would be hectic.
It would be hectic, but it kind of reminded me of old school Halo big team battles. Like it just kind of gives you that feeling. But I like that it's 8v8v8. There's 3 different teams. I think it's actually a lot of fun. I think that's actually sneakily the best game mode in all of this.
Well, that feels like a mode you don't see. Like I'm not like literally, the exact one, but in general, like having more than 2 teams, like that's not a super common game mode in shooters, and it really changes the dynamic of things.
It works in arena shooters, and I know there aren't a lot of arena shooters right now. That's kind of a dead breed. Existed a lot in like the early 2000s when you had Quakes, Duke Nukems, Doom. When you had all of that, those arena shooters were really popular back then. They're a little bit more niche now than they've ever been before, and I think it really works in there because there's a lot of speed going on. I don't think it would work in like a Call of Duty style game. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure Call of Duty's probably done something like that, but I like it. Like I think it does add a fun little dynamic to it. It's a little bit more chaotic, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, last week they had a pretty fun limited time mode. Did you guys play the graffiti?
Yeah,
graffiti was actually pretty cool.
That was a good idea.
Yeah. So the way graffiti worked was, as we've been saying, it's a first-person shooter with portals, but so the objective was to paint walls your team color. In order to do that, you had to create a portal on 2 walls and then go through your portal. So you literally just see people jumping around everywhere on the map trying to cover it. And then obviously you want to kill a person to slow them down. But it was actually kind of an interesting game mode.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with that. And that, again, gives me hope that these guys might actually maybe have some decent ideas. Kind of, they just need to stick around long enough to see some of those things actually happen.
And then one of the shop.
One of the things that's kind of driving me a little nuts, though, just because, I guess it kind of depends on how you guys all feel. Do you guys hate the portals?
Honestly, I use them less in this one.
I never use really used them because I'm just not good at using them. I use them for traversal. I don't use them for like shooting. When I
almost always use them for flanking. Almost never for traversal.
The one good use I found was on split ball in particular is there was one of the maps that there was a portal right behind each one. So obviously you had to get a little lucky and make sure no one would close your portal or whatever, but throw them behind my goal and their goal, steal ball and run. So
yeah.
No, I wasn't good at using them for shooting.
I like the portals. I am shocked how many people are requesting a no portal mode. And I mean, maybe I shouldn't be. The movement in this game is outstanding.
Yeah.
I think
it's very close to like original Titanfall.
Yeah. I think the jetpacks are really good. I think the sliding is really good. It's not overly excessive. It's not like people are doing
G slides like in Call of Duty.
Yeah. They're not really cheesing it. Yeah. It doesn't feel like they're cheesing it. Like it's actually pretty good, but you can see where a skill level could make you that much better.
Yeah.
I've definitely done some ranked modes where like guys were doing stuff that I was like, that's kind of unbelievable. There's a guy I watch on YouTube and he really likes this game. He will almost do what Keith was like traversal with portals. And he's doing it so fast that I'm like, my brain is having a hard time registering what he's doing because he'll pretty much boom, boom, peek through, boom, step back into the portal up to where he just put the new portal. And I'm like, whoa, my brain's transferring what just happened. Cause I'm like, wait, if he stepped back, he went backwards. Oh wait, no, he said a new portal. Oh, that's what just happened. And he'll just do that, just looking for people. So he's just going around the map, just hitting these perfect portals. I think there were more portal spots in the first game.
That's what I felt like. Yeah.
I kind of remember that. But I also, I don't feel like there isn't that many in this game. I do find my moments where I'm like thinking I should have a portal here. This would be really useful for you at this point.
See, the reason I can almost guarantee that there was more portals in the first one, because I don't know if you remember, in the first one they had time runs, so you literally could play the map and you had to collect these tokens, and once you collect all the tokens, you did it. Because we had a listener that would challenge me, and me and him were actually going back and forth trying to beat each other's times. He got way too good though, and he had I'll admit defeat on him. But yeah, there was maps where it's literally all just based on literally throwing portals, like you're saying with that YouTuber, and just able to traverse the whole map and collect all these points.
Yeah, why do they not have that?
Because they don't have as many portal spots.
That was a good mode though.
It was
Why
cool.
does that mode just not exist?
I don't know, because it was a good tutorial. It taught you how to do portals and angles.
I forgot about that. That was fun. Like that was kind of a unique way of taking your core element of the game and creating a whole nother thing for it, which was challenges. Yeah, that
and
was
which,
smart.
like I said, it worked too as a tutorial kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was very unfortunate. Because that's the other thing too. I don't know. I don't think I'm crazy about these map designs. Like there's a couple that I'm like, all right, there's a returning one, the one that's shaped like, obviously it looks like a football arena. Yeah, it's a kind of 3-story. If you play the first one, you would definitely know it. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of returning, and I wasn't too crazy about this map designs.
I don't think I hate any of them, truthfully. If there is one that would fall lower on the preference scale, I think it was the newer map, which it's the library.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite.
I don't love that one, but I don't hate it either. Like when it comes up, I'm not like, oh gosh, this map, but I find the battles to be a little funky because of how it's laid out. It just doesn't fall where I naturally want to have fights. But that's it. Everything else I like. I don't have an issue with any of the maps.
No, I think I was to say kind of the same. There's none that stood out to me as like bad maps, but
so Andrew was wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not saying any are bad, but none of them. Like,
really,
there's a couple in my mind of the first one that I really liked, and I remember playing them. And I'm like, that was a fun map. Granted, there was some awful maps on the first one. I remember there's one that's just super tall, and it's a lot of cliffs. It's a lot of there was a lot of vines. It was very kind of ancient. I don't know, like Aztec kind of design to it. I did not like that.
Way too big.
That one. Yes.
Way too vertical.
Yes, and it was so hard to keep track of people. Hated that map. But yeah, so I will say there wasn't any map that I hated. So I will say that.
Did you guys play much of the is it Takedown? Is that the mode? The one where it's like it's the 4v4 and it's like every time someone dies the death timer goes up and the whole point is to like wipe out the team.
No.
So it's a deathmatch mode?
That kind of sounds like what the Battle Royale is like though.
It is. I mean honestly it is, but it's in an arena. And that one was in the first game too, if I recall. So it's like I think I want to say it's called Takedown. Maybe Takeout.
I think you're right. I think I've seen Takedown.
But yeah, that one's a lot of fun. That one's it's like a very small quarters arena, and if I recall, it's like 2 stories, and there's like a bunch of like points you can like fall off to, like kind of like gaps across and whatnot. And yeah, it's kind of just chaotic because you'll get down to like the last man standing, and then the timer will be up to like 15 seconds. So if you're good, you can kind of clutch it. Not me. And you can like survive it out or whatever. But yeah, it's a really interesting mode. And to that point, I actually kind of liked the Battle Royale. I didn't love it. I wasn't like, man, this is awesome. I want to play this all the time. But it was actually kind of a refreshing mode for a Battle Royale. It felt like it was very quick. I liked the way that the zones played as far as like, it almost felt like it was like a square. If I could figure out the map, because it like would teleport from area to area, but they all connected. But what that takedown mode and what Aaron was saying is exactly what I liked about it. Is instead of having the respawn points of like, all right, I got to go pick up my friend's flag, their chip, whatever it is, get to this thing. It was just about getting the death timer to get down to 0 and be in safety. It would just automatically respawn you. And it just felt like a better flow to the game.
Yeah. I mean, while we're on the topic, we probably should talk about the Battle Royale because it's kind of like the arena is one half of the game, the Battle Royale is the whole other half. I'm like with Call Keith. Of Duty. Yeah, I don't. Well, at this point, Warzone is Call of Duty, and then the multiplayer is just this little thing that gets ignored. I'm with you though. I actually don't hate this battle royale. I don't like battle royale games. Like I think that whole shtick is just not really for me. But this takes the core element of what's fun about the arena. It takes the big team battle maps and meshes them, but with portals connecting them. I think that's a clever thought. I don't know if it changes much. It still feels like what a traditional battle royale, but what I think is kind of cool about it is they can close down so that you can only go out one portal and stuff like that. So there is some interesting things happening there. The only difficulty on it, it's not very long. Like it's a pretty short game because what is there? 60 players?
I thought it was. It might be. I thought it was 40, but either way, 40, 60. It moves pretty quick.
It's teams of 4. There are no
5,
other.
I think.
No, it's 4.
It's 4. Okay.
Yeah. So there are no other setups. You can't go solo or duos.
It's 24
trios.
players.
Okay, it's 24. I thought it was more than that, but that might.
This is according to the website.
But what's kind of killer about that though is you absolutely need decent coordination. Like this is not an instance where one guy can pretty much carry the team. It just isn't like that.
Oh, hold on. No, sorry. It's 15 teams of 4. That's weird.
So 60. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
weird writing.
All right.
On their website.
So, all right. So I was right. I was like, man, 24 doesn't seem like much at all. But yeah, I think it's decent. I like that it moves. So the movement in there is there, and then the battles are happening all pretty quickly. There's very
the
little
boxes naturally open up, so it's actually pretty quick. Or not, they level up or they upgrade.
Yeah. I don't hate it. Like I don't hate the battle royale. So it's kind of a bummer that they came in and it stumbles right out of the gate. There is an overarching issue though that I think is holding it back, and is really holding the whole game back. There is practically, I say practically because they did change some things, but there's practically no meta progression.
Yeah, that was my big issue.
You can go play a battle royale, you can win it, and you get literally nothing. It's not even really XP to your overall account. You do not have XP for an account. So you could upgrade some of the weapons you used. You can upgrade your class. But once you hit 25 on there, you're done. You capped it. They did just add 3 camo challenges for the guns. So you did have that add. But that's it. I think that's actually the biggest overarching issue right now.
Yes.
Because if you go play the Battle Royale, you're just doing it for the fun. And that's literally it. There's no rank mode for it yet.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it's so fun that you're like, boy, I'm gonna go
play
war.
Yeah, it's not unique enough.
It's something that if you're already online playing with a group of your friends, it's like, hey, maybe let's fire up, a round of that just to mix it in type of thing. But you're not playing Splitgate for the battle royale by any means.
Yeah. No. And kind of like what I was saying at the beginning, why I was thinking about giving this a pass. I think this game is way too stingy. It's a free to play game and you are barely getting anything for free. So there is 3 battle passes for this first season, as Aaron was saying, chapter 1, 2, and 3. Each one's kind of based off of each one of the 3 classes. So each one of these battle passes has 40 items. You get 8 for free. That's it. The rest is locked behind the premium. And the stuff you get for free is a spray, a banner, a new banner sign, a new banner phrase, and that's it. Oh, and Prolium coins. Okay. So I want to get into the transactions here, the microtransactions. So you have 3 currencies, battle pass, you have premium currency, and then there's Prolium coins. I have no idea what the Prolium coins are for.
I do.
Where? I kept looking everywhere and I couldn't find what to do with it.
The thing is, I have so many Prolium coins. The only place that I've seen where you can use them is if you go, there are certain weapon skins where you can change the color on them.
Oh, so alternate skin variation?
Yeah, so if your default skin is silver, you can use Prolium to make it the default red.
That's really stupid.
I mean, it's not, I don't have an issue with it. My problem is that I have so many skins now, I don't need the Prolium. So now it's like, well, what else can I use Prolium for? So now I'm collecting all this stuff in a battle pass.
Oh,
of course
so you bought the battle pass.
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
If I'm going to play a game, and a game especially that doesn't have any progression, I'm going to give myself progression here.
Yeah.
I'm going to give myself something to go and unlock. And what? It's like $5 or $10. I don't really care. It's no big deal. I'll go buy it. They need to make up their $100 million deficit right now, so I helped them out by $10.
I mean, I will say, at least the battle pass is cheap. It is nicely priced. It's smart how they did it. If you want to buy one of the chapters, you will make that premium currency back. If you buy all 3 of the chapters, so basically pre-order the entire season 1 battle passes, you actually will gain a little extra premium currency. That's pretty smart. But once again, though, what was offered in the battle passes did not impress me. I didn't care for the weapon skins. I didn't care for the character skin. So I was like, I didn't like this. And then, as Aaron was saying, they had the legendary skin starting off of it's $80, but of course, oh no, it's 50% off now. It's only $40. It's out of the 3 classes, it's only skin for one of the classes, and then you get color variation and the skin for each of the guns that they have. So it's honestly that's not a big bundle for $40. And the very first one was a lady who kind of looked like a cultist. This new one, as Aaron said, was kind of cool. It's a spacesuit, and the weapon's actually kind of NASA space inspired. It's like, oh, these are actually kind of cool skins. $40 cool? No, I would not spend $40 on that.
What price would you pay for that?
10. I'd usually do 10.
Okay. I was kind of wonder what the average person, because I haven't seen anyone with it. I saw someone on Reddit with it. So somebody
I saw one person, with the first one, the cultist lady.
Oh, really? This was the Yuri skin. And which to me looks it's the coolest looking one. I think it's a mythic, which I didn't even know they had mythic skins. That was like the first one that I saw. I was like, did they just make that up? To justify the $40. I mean, yeah, technically, I guess anything they did,
everything's made up.
But yeah, I've only seen one guy on Reddit who bought it and then was getting roasted for buying it.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Are you serious? Did you really buy it?" He's just like, "I'm rich." And they're like, "All right, I guess that's a good enough answer." But I don't know. To me, I know I've made this argument before, and I understand in the gaming realm, you're just supposed to hate free to play games. You're supposed to hate on their shops and stuff like that. My general rule of thumb is, if I'm playing a game enough that I kind of like it, I will usually go and buy something every once in a while from there I do like this game. I would like to see it stick around. And this is one of them. I do want to see these guys succeed. We do not have really arena shooters existing anymore. I want to continue. I hope these guys make it. I truly do. It's not a great state right now, but it's fun enough that I can get on there and have a pretty decent time playing it. But I don't mind paying a few bucks for it.
It's got to be a balance, though, because obviously you need players playing your game to have people in there. Yes, the most average person probably will not spend money in a free-to-play game. But if you're getting something for your time, it's going to make people stick around. That's how all free-to-play games work. I play Fortnite a little bit here and there, and it's like, I'm not buying the battle passes, but heck, I still have a boatload of skins in that game from just playing it. Same with Apex Legends. I spent $10 on Apex Legends, and I have a ton of skins. You need to have a balance of being able to keep players in your game to keep the people that are willing to spend money there too. Yeah.
And you know what's actually a really good comparison right now? Another free-to-play game, Fragpunk.
Yeah.
So, because this is exactly what they should take a model just like this. You've got those classes in Fragpunk right now. When you are playing a character, there is a progression tree for that character. It is free. So the more you play them, you unlock different things for that characer. A different
they do in this
skin,
game too, though.
Different gun skin. In this, no, not in.
Yeah, there is. When you level it up, you only will get a skin at the max level of what, 25?
Yeah.
There's a skin, and you get a little bit of premium currency at level 24 with each class. No, but there's only 3 classes, so you literally, once you hit all 3 of them, it's like you're done. All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
In Fragpunk, it's like 15. It's like 15 different things you can get per. And to me, that's the stuff, right? You need to have some overall progression systems. I think them adding the weapon challenges to get the weapon skins, smart.
Yeah,
you should do that. But you should have that for the classes, as well. You should have an overall, I should be able to see my records. So you should be able to give me how many headshots I have, because that's driving me nuts right now, because those are what the achievements all are. And I'm trying to track that stuff, but I have no way of tracking it. But give me stats and give me unlockables. I agree with you, Andrew. I think that's smart. Give me things to go hunt for. That's how these games work. The fact that that is missing day one is a critical error on their side.
Yeah, the like daily challenges and stuff are boring. It's
They're
like,
not good.
play an arena match. Play 3 arena matches.
And they're
what's
busted.
yeah,
They're still busted.
They're
They're like 50-50 on if they're tracking properly. They've had those issues since basically the beta. And they said that's one of the main things on their list of we need to fix this right now kind of stuff. But the challenges, yeah, they kind of suck and they're not tracking properly. So not great.
it's kind of surprising how many issues they're having, because this game had a beta and an alpha from what I remember.
So I will give, again, the developers do deserve their flowers. They've been very transparent. They've been very open. They have talked everything through. If everything's broken, they have gotten on camera and they've talked about it, probably to a detriment, honestly. They've probably said things they probably shouldn't have said. But they basically, what I think their core issue is right now is they had circled on their calendar Summer Games Fest. That's when we're going to launch. We're going to launch at Summer Game Fest. And as they got closer and closer, they were not ready. So what they did is they betaed leading up to Summer Game Fest. I was in that beta. And it launches and it adds a few things, but you're like, ooh, there are some things they needed to address that they just did not get to in time. So they basically outright admitted, yeah, that was kind of what we did. We had it circled. This is when we want to launch. It'll be a great way to launch the game. We'll be out there in front of everybody. And it wasn't ready. Wasn't ready for prime time. Okay, I say all this to say I do enjoy this game, and I think a lot of people would like this game. I don't think you have to be great at the portals to enjoy it. So I don't want to sound like I'm super negative and you shouldn't touch this game. I actually do think this is a fun game and worth checking out.
I mean, I agree too. The shooting in this game is a ton of fun.
Top notch. Top notch. I actually really, really love the gunplay in this game. Love it.
Yeah, I'm bad at it, but that was definitely one of the things I liked about it.
Yeah, all the guns feel really good. I didn't have any issues with any of them.
The shotguns kind of suck. I don't really like the shotguns.
I felt like I was getting destroyed by shotguns.
I think the Sabrask one, I think that one's getting nerfed. Because that one I think is a little beefy. The one that charges up, I think the Meridians use that. Wasn't great. But another thing that I like too, that we miss in arena shooters, I used to get this in Halo, is power weapons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love power weapons.
Okay. I have a little issue with the power weapons. I don't know what they are. Like, they appear on the map, but I'm picking up a gun and I have no idea what it is because everything is futuristic looking. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, I think this is a rifle. And then it's like, no, I think it's a shotgun. But there's like, I was hoping to go to the locker room where you can kind of customize your characters, customize your guns, but there's no section for the power weapons. Because I wanted to look this up. I'm like, I would love if I had a list of these power weapons and kind of learned what they did. Like the Gravitas gun. I'm like, okay, I think this is a shotgun. Then you get the Slipstream, and then it's like, oh, it's dual wielding. How does this work?
Awesome.
You have no idea what's going. Like, that's my issue.
I mean,
you just got to play and learn.
I mean, a couple of them, I suppose, but I thought they were all pretty straightforward. So, like Alex in the chat just mentioned the rocket launcher.
Yeah, I mean,
I know that's not one you're arguing, Andrew. But immediately, like the Slipstream, I was like, okay, it's dual wield. It's going to be fast, and it's going to be like you just kind of knew SMG adjacent was kind of what you were getting. Like, I think there was only like the rifles and the shotgun that might have maybe thrown me off, even because then there's the bat. The bat's easy, obviously.
Yeah.
The sniper rifle immediately very easy. Oh, hey, Aaron.
Sorry. My camera just zoomed in on me again.
Saw you picking your nose and it was like, gotta see that.
I itched
my
nose.
The Slipstream, when it came to dual wielding, so naturally I get in the head of Halo. So I constantly kept hitting the left trigger to shoot the second gun. And it like that would do your equipment, and it just kept screwing me up every time. It's a minor gripe. I just wish I had a codex of way to look at the weapons and kind of read what they did and understand a little bit their functions.
I think it's totally fair. Because like you said, when you're talking to me now after, I don't know, I've probably put like 24, 26 hours into this game. I obviously know what all the power weapons are. So I'm like, oh, how do you not know? But you are right. I only know that by trial and error.
Yeah.
That I go and pick them up and I go shoot them a bit.
You pick up a gun called a Borealis. Like, what does that tell me? Nothing.
So most of them are a version of a sniper. Like there's a bolt action and then there's Borealis. Like they're both rifles. The Gravitas is actually a lot of fun. It's a shotgun, a really powerful shotgun. It has secondary fire though. I think the only one that has a secondary fire that pulls them at you.
Didn't know that. That would have been nice.
It looks like one of the photon guns from Ghostbusters. And you can pull them back into you and blast them. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, the bat is awesome. The slipstream is kind of gimmicky. You're obviously holding an SMG and a pistol, which does damage when you're hip firing. And if you aim down sight, you just combine it into one. But really, it's doing the same amount of damage. It doesn't really matter. It's just the gimmick is that it connects. But it does kind of a crazy amount of damage. But what I like about it again is it kind of changes up the dynamic of a map. You can see people run to when they see a rocket.
Yeah.
And good golly, is it not satisfying to run around with that bat and just if you get behind people, just start bashing them over the head. Man, that feels good.
Well, because it's an easy hit and it's quiet, so yeah, you can just wipe a team.
It's the grav hammer from Halo.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just infinitely satisfying to smack people with.
Yep, because it's got just that little bit of like snap to it too on like the like charge of the swing. So it just feels good.
Yeah. They should do an all bat mode.
Well, you can do custom modes. I wonder if you could do something like that.
That's also another thing. Oh, I'm great. Keith, you just keep leading this thing. I've seen online.
I feel like he's been quiet most of the episode.
I'm just in here quietly leading things.
Yeah, but he always brings up something, and I'm like, oh yeah, we should probably talk about that. The custom stuff is actually really good in this. I've seen online some of the stuff that people have created. It's kind of sucks though that it like hasn't exploded into something. You know, like when Halo released Forge, it was a thing.
Yeah,
like people got into Forge as its thing. I feel like this game should be kind of promoting this as well. I forget what they call their custom builder labs. But that seems like a really smart idea they really should lean into.
Yeah,
because it could go right into what Andrew had already said with having like these speed trials. You could have people building their own custom speed trials because it's one of the wildest things. And this is what I've always loved about custom maps and going back to, you know, the Warcraft, StarCraft days. We've talked about it before. As good of developers are that create these games, the fans and the gamers themselves almost always do it better when there's a custom game mode in there. Like they will create custom game modes that are better than anything these $1 million for production companies will ever come up with. So like embrace it. And some games do, obviously. And so I'm with you. I think Splitgate should absolutely take that because it would be just a way to really bring the community of the game in a game that clearly needs the support, or it's just going to do what it did last time.
Yeah. But we're gonna start moving along here. I want to talk about the graphics. Overall, the graphics look good, but I don't care for the designs. Everything looks like generic spaceman-y, like something chat like a chat GPT would make. Make me generic spaceman shooty guys. And so that's why I was disappointed with the skin. Like I said, at least with the spaceman skin, I'm like, okay, here's an actual cool design. I like this. I didn't care for the skins of the battle pass.
I don't think the skins are bad. I don't like, and I generally don't like this in all sci-fi. Like this kind of even bothers me a little bit in Star Wars, where everything's got that just smooth, glossy look. Yeah. It's all just kind of flat gloss. And And some maps on there do have some vegetation. They do have some stuff built into it. You know what was their best looking map? Was the graffiti version of that map.
Yeah.
That looked great. It was colorful. It popped. It looked different. I was like, do that. Do more of that. Add some variation here to make these levels really pop. Again, graphically, I think it looks fine. I think it looks pretty good. But design-wise, they're going for just this real flat look to the levels of just gloss. It has plenty of color. It's more colorful than the first one. It's not dark by any means. It's definitely bright. Yeah. But I will kind of agree with you. I will push back a little bit on the skins. I do think some of the skins look pretty good. I think you're being a little too harsh on that. Apologize, Andrew. Apologize to the skins.
Sorry, didn't mean to offend space shooty men.
No, stop it.
But also too, the audio. Okay, so gunplay sounds good, but I think another thing that makes a break in arena shooter is a good announcer. And boy, howdy, is this announcer very generic. He's a very, once again, kind of chat GPT of double.
Well, I was gonna ask, is it the same guy who does the voiceover for all of these? Because I swear it's the same.
It
voice.
Reminds me of Halo. Like, I don't know how you can.
The Halo one's deep.
Okay.
Fantastic. Like, it hits you. It hits you. This is just
I thought it was the same guy. I thought it was the same guy as you remember Monday Night Combat.
Yeah,
that guy.
Exactly. It's like a generic, like it's same guy as like the finals. If you listen to a game show-esque video game where it's supposed to be some sort of sports arena, it's like the same announcer, kind of generic. I don't know. And to me, it's just, I felt like I heard that guy 1,000 times. No, Halo's is classic. And that's what I mean. Even with Quake, like Quake had one that was really good. Like when you have someone who really has like a very unique, usually a deeper voice, it hits you up more.
I think we need to do a full deep dive side quest episode on this, on arena shooter announcer voices and all of the different people who voice them.
I do want to call out Alex in the chat here though, because he mentioned the hat at the Summer Games Fest, which we did talk about earlier, Alex. I do want to push back against people on this thing because the hat is all over the place and nobody said anything to Kojima, who wore a stinking make something great again hat when he was going around promoting games. Nobody said a dang word about it, but they all seem to go after this guy for doing a make FPS great again. It's just double standards all over the place.
Kojima did? I didn't realize Kojima had a hat.
Yeah, Kojima, I forget what it was, but he had a black version of that hat, just like the one he had, but it wasn't an FPS one. I forget what it said. That hat is just a thing that exists all over the place for a multitude of different items. But yeah, nobody said
Make TV great again is what he had.
What do you have?
I think he had Make TV Great Again.
No,
yep.
We should go after that guy, that Kojima guy. That's the thing, is these hats exist all over the place, and everyone kept focusing on the dang hat. I was like, I don't freaking care about the hat. Is the game any good or not? Is the question. So I just wanted to push back on that because that thing has been running all over the place. Is the stupid hat, and I'm like, why are we talking about the hat? Who cares about the hat? It's the least interesting thing about this story. So yeah, I know Kojima gets away with everything. I get it. It doesn't matter. Kojima could go murder someone and they'd still think he's brilliant. But anyway, keep going. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say about the audio?
No, I think it doesn't sound great. Yeah. I think the music, it drives me a little crazy. I don't really love the menu music.
Yeah, it's very much arena poppy kind of. I don't know.
You needed something there. there.
Yeah, it's pretty forgettable. But yeah, the achievements are actually pretty solid. It's a lot of, well, there's one that kind of is frustrating, but a lot of it is just like, oh, you get 10 double kills, 20 double kills, 50 double kills. Like it's progressive. But so there isn't anything too ridiculous. You're not doing like, oh, get a double kill while only being in the air and getting headshots. So nothing egregious. The only achievement that's kind of annoying was getting portal kills, which is weird. I think portal kills, from what it sounds like, is because it sounds like it's supposed to be like you trick somebody, but you place a portal and they jump through your portal and they fall off the map. Yeah. I literally could not find a place to do that. So it's like, where is this? Like, how do you get this achievement? because there's not a lot of portal areas.
The takedown map might have some spots because I know there's some fall spots, but I don't know if there's any you could actually do that.
Yeah, I can't think of it. The only way that is maybe one where, because they have the portals that are kind of angled, so you could launch someone out. Like, I guess you could get them to follow you. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was you set up a portal and shoot through the portal, but it's not.
That's what I thought too.
I've done that 1,000 times and I haven't gotten the achievement yet. So yeah, that's just an achievement. I agree. I probably will never get that one because I don't know how it works.
I just thought of another thing real quick I wanted to talk about. So I remember they did this the first Splitgate, and I remember Aaron, when we were playing it, you're like, I am so good at this game. This game does a really good job of hiding bots. Well, this time around, it's very obvious it's a bot. Like, their names are very generic, and I even think it says bot. But I remember the longest time, Aaron, you're like, oh my gosh, my kill death ratio is 6.7. And I think Keith was like, Aaron, you must be playing bots.
No, I eventually figured it out. It was actually really clever of them to do this. And I think they do it a little bit in this game too, where your first few games, you're playing against bots, but they're not obvious. They were actually really cleverly masked. So I was going off. And I'm like, and what a genius way to sell your game.
You feel so good.
I felt like I was like, I'm going pro in Splitgate. Like, I'm going pro in Splitgate. It is happening right now.
I was getting like quad kills. Like,
so what happens is eventually you start playing people, and then you're like, wait. Something's not right.
Suck at this.
Yeah, and then you realize, oh, you were slow feeding me bots until as an introduction. I think that's genius, by the way.
It is.
I think more games should do that multiplayer. What a smart way to introduce your game is make people feel like $1 million. I'm trying all sorts of different things because I felt like I was untouchable.
See, well, that's what Fortnite does. It is, and it's smart. Yeah. Like, no matter what rank you are, there's at least a sprinkle of a handful of bots. Because then as soon as you drop in, you're like, no, I killed that guy. And it makes you feel good. You're like, I want to keep playing. I'm killing people. Because obviously, if you play something Call of Duty or Apex, you land and you get instantly smoked. You're like, this isn't fun. I don't want to do this anymore.
No,
it's very smart.
It was so great. It had to have been one of my first handful matches, one of my bot matches. There was this guy who was on the mic, and he was just going wild. He was just bananas because he was like triple kills, double kills, and he's like laughing, screaming. End of the match. It warmed my heart, but also just made me laugh at the same time. You can hear him, babe, you gotta get in here. Babe, check out my
Him calling his family is like the best part of that.
This
man, you gotta see this because that was me.
To show his girlfriend, his wife, whoever it was, his significant other, how good he was against killing bots, and he had no idea.
I can totally relate.
If I had my mic on, I still wouldn't have told him. I wanted him to just continue having the best time. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just laughing and having a great time. And I
literally next also he probably went like 0-8.
Bless his heart.
Screaming and breaking his controller.
Bless his heart.
All right, but let's get to our final thoughts here. So Splitgate 2, as I said, it is a very fun time. It's a good game. It's a very fun first-person shooter. If you don't like the instant kill you're kind of getting in, a Rainbow Six or Call of Duty, you want something that is a little bit more slower time to kill, but really fast movement, really twitchy reflexes. This is up your alley. This is a very fun game. I like the portal aspect to it. It's a nice, just slight twist to it. I wasn't too crazy about the different classes this time around. And as I said, I think the microtransactions are a little egregious. There's not a lot you're getting here for free. I'm sure they'll maybe fix it, maybe be a little bit more loose with it. Because that's the thing too. There's limited time events. You have to play a lot of the limited time events to earn the free stuff that gives you too. Like, that was also too like, I don't have the time for that. But the game modes are a ton of fun here. And the shooting is really good. So this is a very good time. I think this game needs a little more time to cook, but the question is, will it be around for it? I really hope so. I'm with Aaron. I would love for this game to succeed, but from what's here, it was a nice, fun time. But at the moment, I would much rather play Rematch than this, which is saying something because I'm way more of a first-person shooter guy than a sports guy, but I was having more fun with Rematch. So for me right now, it lands at like a 75.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Splitgate originally. I enjoyed Splitgate too. Was there actually classes in the first one? I don't
No.
remember. There
Mm-mm.
wasn't. Okay. So that's a nice twist, but it didn't really do much for me. And the battle royale was again nice, but also nothing that really moved the needle. Yeah, I think it's got a fun feel to it. I would probably really only play it. I think again, I said this earlier. Probably really only play it with some friends. I don't think I'd spend a whole lot of time firing this up on my own, but it's good. It's worth checking out. I think at least. I think it lands rated 77. I think very average is I think it was Alex who just said that in the chat. It's
Aggressively
pretty on there.
average.
Aggressively average. Like that's pretty spot on.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I'm banging the drum for this game. I want this game to survive. I like arena shooters. I miss them. It's maybe a nostalgia thing for me. So it's just it's fun to have a game like this and a game that is good. Like it is, the shooting is good. Where it matters the most, it is good. You know, another reason why I think I like this game so much is I kind of miss casual shooters because that doesn't exist anymore, where you can just kind of get on, mindlessly go shoot some things in a multiplayer arena and it not be a complete sweat fest and it not be people cheesing things. I know we talked about how there isn't a whole lot of cheesing elements to it. And like, I think that's good. But there obviously needs more to it than just that. There needs to be more to the game than just that. I don't even know if there's skill-based matchmaking in this game, but that's a whole
I mean,
other
there's ranked, so kind of.
There is ranked if you want it. It's there. It's not great. It needs a lot of room up to grow as well. I'm gonna give this a 79. I hope to come back in a year from now and say, oh, it's an 89. It's gained 10 points over a year, but we'll see. We'll see if it makes it. I think it's worth checking out, but time will tell if these guys can right the ship.
Yeah.
See if it's even here in a year to come back to.
I mean, that'll be the question. $100 million game. They are going to owe a lot of people back pretty quickly. Well, because the first one was this weird explosive hit, but very briefly.
Yeah. Remember they gave like a skin and like an emote or something like that. It said, I survived the beta, because literally their servers got cooked because they had so many people playing.
I have it for this one too, because the beta busted again.
Oh, it did?
But yeah.
All right, but that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all the people in chat who joined us. If you would like to join us, we usually record on Wednesdays around 8:30 EST. Our link tree will be in the comments. You'll find the link to all of our stuff, our Discord, our Facebook, where actually a lot of people usually watch us live recorders on Facebook, but our YouTube. And then, of course, go to GamePassGrabOut.com. Check out our website. See the games we reviewed. But I've been your hardcore gamer host, Danger. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952.
I've been Keith. I've got nothing interesting to say. So that's all.
Andrew, hit the music.
Love it.
Man,
hold on. No, I'm pausing music. You don't boss me around here.
Sorry.
Okay, now I'm starting it.
Did you just start it with a fart note?
No, it's just where I paused it. Anyway, we love you all. We'll see you again next week.
See ya.